Yeah, she have a knife.
You don't. Hey, I'm fucking 12 it. You're fucking bad and
Why you fucking with us?
These are fucking kid bashers.
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Get
Show
the
the knife.
fuck away from us.
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Don't touch her.
That's it. That's it. Show the knife.
Don't touch my little sister.
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my little sister. She ain't fucking 12. Wait until I fucking catch you, mate. She is fucking 12 and you just battered me, mate. Wait until I fucking catch you, mate.
Yeah, show the knife. Maracha.
Don't touch her, you're into me. Don't touch her.
Die hat schon ein blaues Fleck da hinten bei ihm. Zieh nicht weg.
Platz! Entspannt. Nein! So an die Arme ziehen! Warum muss man einen Minderjährigen so an die Arme ziehen? Warum muss man
Einmal aus dem Weg, Polizei, weg. Offen. Ja. So, und da wird zugemacht. Keiner kommt hier rein. Einmal bitte hier rüber.
Okay, there was so much going on in all of that. What's going on, guys? Red Channels here again, and today we will be talking about the significance of Knife Girl and Anarcho-Tyranny in the UK. And I mean, before we even dive in, before we even get started, there were like multiple cops in that last video. I think there's like 2 of them walking with selfie sticks filming as they arrest this 14-year-old girl, which is just bananas. Topsy-turvy, upside down. Why do they even need that many police officers to arrest her in the first place? It's crazy. You know, back when I was in college, I remember, oh boy, I was in a class full of liberals. It was a political science class. And someone said that the British police were based because they took down criminals without guns, meaning they were braver. It's, oh man, liberals are just, they make my blood boil, guys. Anyway, Knife Girl has gone viral throughout the interwebs because she is this Scottish girl who has had a knife and an axe, apparently, to defend herself against SA by certain new arrivals, shall we say, to the British Isles that the British government has just let in. And, of course, the image went super viral, went everywhere, because it's just the idea of having a little girl defending herself with an axe and a knife not only speaks to the horrific conditions of the social climate of the United Kingdom at the moment, but then it's also like almost comically absurd and actually a little bit intimidating, you know? As the kids say these days, this image goes hard. You know, it is threatening. That's kind of a big knife. She could do some damage with it. That guy speaking Arabic recording her probably thought twice before he tried anything. But part of the reason this image is so striking, why it has spoken to so many people, is its symbolic power. It just encapsulates everything that is wrong with the way that the UK is being run right now. Because the UK is the fullest manifestation of anarcho-tyranny in the West or in the world perhaps ever. But what is anarcho-tyranny? Anarcho-tyranny is a condition of government described by the political philosopher Samuel Todd Francis, where the state fails to uphold fundamental protective law, allowing anarchy, while bureaucracy or the police are used to manage otherwise law-abiding citizens, meaning tyrannical governance, anarcho-tyranny. Britain is the most pronounced form of this type of government in the West, with rampant migrant-related crime perpetrated by these new arrivals and absurdly lenient sentences for offenders, with English patriots often receiving jail time for saying impolite, non-PC things while causing no actual physical harm. Or, in the case of Knife Girl, being a 14-year-old girl and carrying weapons to protect yourself because crime against women in the UK has become so endemic and commonplace. But of course, this state of affairs is all by design, and the political class of the UK does not care. In fact, they're really facilitating this sort of thing.
As the Quran says, God does not burden any soul with more than it can bear. We hope that you have a blessed and fulfilling Ramadan. Peace be upon you all. Ramadan Mubarak. As Muslims across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth observe the beginning of the holiest of months in the Islamic calendar, the month of Ramadan, I just wanted to convey my heartfelt best wishes to you all and to tell you just how much my wife and I are thinking of you at this special time of year. This would have been a joyous time. Mosques would be filling with life. Muslim families would be coming together to share food and prayers. And many of them would be inviting their neighbours and friends of all faiths and none to join them. My wife and I can only offer you all our kindest and most special wishes and stress just how greatly the contribution of Muslims to the life of the United Kingdom is appreciated and valued, embodying the Ramadan spirit of charity and selflessness. As the Quran says, God does not burden any soul with more than it can bear. We hope that you have a blessed and fulfilling Ramadan. Peace be upon you all. Ramadan.
Very cringe to see that coming from Prince Charles. Really sad. I used to be a big Anglophile as a kid. Loved the English monarchy. Loved knights, chivalry. The history of the Middle Ages, especially in England. And now this is what their king is doing. Very sad.
What the British people are owed is an explanation. Because a failure on this scale isn't just bad luck, it isn't a global trend or taking your eye off the ball. No, this is a different order of failure. This happened by design, not accident. Policies were reformed deliberately to liberalise immigration. Brexit was used for that purpose, to turn Britain into a one-nation experiment in open borders. Global Britain. Remember that slogan? That is what they meant. A policy with no support and which they then pretended wasn't happening.
And there you have it, Keir Starmer admitting to an open borders experiment. I'm sure most of you have probably already seen that clip. But anarcho-tyranny is really the reason why you see a lot of right-wing populist commentators, especially in regards to Britain, calling him two-tier Kia. Two-tier. Oh, man. I overdid it there. I overcooked it. But yeah, they call it. It's just the most British name I've ever heard. It's so lame. These people should not be ever allowed to come up with their names for anything. But two-tier policing is a shorthand, a catchy meme way of expressing how the British government treats regular native people from the British Isles, like that 14-year-old girl, and how they treat migrant-related crime. They're very heavy-handed on the first, very light with the second, and people are noticing, and it's really hit a boiling point. And right here, that was basically an admission that there is some sort of project to turn Britain into a global country. I mean, it's not really like 1984 because that's, maybe there are some similarities, but that's really depicting a different type of dystopia. I feel like the one we're living in is closer to a Brave New World, if you want to be a cringe loser and point to dystopian fiction novels for your inspiration to describe the world. I think that's very passe, but they really are intent, the political class of the UK is intent on turning Britain into an airstrip one of sorts. No identity, no real culture, just a deracinated economic zone. And, you know, I can only hope that the next 3.5 years or so, or if Vance wins in 2028, that the U.S. will intervene in the affairs of the United Kingdom based on how bad things are going there. British patriots need to wake up. You know, I will forgive Europeans because there is a strong current, not only in the European left, but also the European right, that is anti-Donald Trump, pig-headedly so, idiotically so, but it's in part because they really don't have any media that gives him any kind of positive coverage. But really, you do need the US because, like it or not, you can see the Europeans. Europe is a vassal half continent of the United States. We are stronger. We rebuilt Europe after World War I and World War II. We recreated them in our image. We are the leaders in NATO, and we are the shot caller in this situation.
All these lads are sticking up for this country. If there were a war in this country, we'd be the first one there. So all I'm saying is, Mr. Donald Trump, please intervene.
What would you want Trump to do?
I want him to buy England like he wanted to buy Canada and make us a state that we're proud of.
You want to be part of the United States?
Yes!
Man, if I were DJT, I'd do it in a heartbeat for old North FC right there. They need it. They need our protection. They need someone to intervene and remove all this migrant-related crime, if you will, and protect British people and British identity. Because, see, you have tons of young people like that tub of lard in the Mickey Mouse t-shirt taking down the English flag and stomping on it like it's a hate symbol. They hate their own identity. Their new identity is self-flagellation. Their new identity is self-loathing. Their new identity is self-hatred. And a people who view themselves that way will not last. They will not last on the stage of history. Other people will overtake them. People, and you know, I'm going to get heck for this. People are going to hate me for saying it, but Andrew Tate's point in kind of harassing British people about this, or Europeans generally about this, is any people who will not puff out their chest and assert themselves onto the stage of world history deserve to be erased. This is a law of nature. And, you know, personally, I think he was doing this to inspire people, to get that reaction, to get people to rise to the occasion. Other people are offended by him. I get it. But the point is, you can't build an identity off of self-hatred. It is self-immolating. It is self-destructive. And now we can go ahead and take a quick look, take a quick peek at what is in store for the British Isles when young women or people like Knife Girl no longer exist, when there aren't enough of them who are actually willing to say enough is enough.
No good saying sorry, mate. It's too late, right?
Please, please forgive me.
Right. Never mind, forgive you. See all this? This is your little chat. And you knew straight away, right? This girl's age, right or wrong?
Sorry, I don't speak my English.
No, you do. You do
No,
speak
no.
English.
Please trust me, myself. Please, sir.
Well, you spoke English
Yeah.
all right in this.
We need to move. Later, please, sir. Forgive me.
Right.
Please, sir. Okay, I don't understand rule of the here. I don't understand.
I don't care. What's the age in your country?
New country, what new country? I don't understand.
Your country.
My country, Afghanistan.
Right.
Yeah.
How old does a girl have to be to have sex legally?
Like 14, 15.
14, 15?
Yeah.
Really? What, in your country?
She can marry, yeah. I'm sure.
Not here it ain't, mate.
No, I'm sure. Trust me, boss.
Do you know what
You can search on the Google and YouTube.
Do you expect it over here? Do you expect that over here?
Expect what's the mean?
Do you expect that age in this country? Tell me.
This country?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand rule of this country. Rule, I don't understand rule. You know rule. Don't be angry, don't be angry. I told you.
You're winding me up because you're talking crap. And don't try step into me either. Do not try step into me.
I'm not, it's okay, it's okay.
You know you said...
Stay back. Stay there.
Okay, kill me.
Oi.
Shoot me here. Shoot me.
Oi, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You know you said...
Swear to God, you'll be on the floor, don't you?
Okay, leave me. Then what can we do? Where we go?
There's nothing.
Nothing.
We just wait for the police.
For the police?
Yeah.
This
wait for
girl
the police.
is 12 years old. You understood well enough to ask her for pictures of our private parts. What was you intending on doing with those pictures, by the way?
Sorry?
What was you going to do with the pictures of our privates?
How annoying is he?
Picture? What picture?
The pictures you asked a child. Do I need to read it to you again?
I don't understand. Tell me clearly.
Should I read it to you again?
Right, you asked for pictures of that child. Yeah?
Richard?
Child.
Child, yeah, child.
Right, you asked her for pictures
Of her boobs?
of her boobs and between her legs.
Yeah, just looking.
What was you intended? Just looking. What was you intending on doing with them?
Just
pictures,
looking.
just
I told
looking.
you, just looking, yeah.
Oh.
The first time, so that makes
Yes.
it okay. But guess what? It's not okay, alright?
But in the first time my life, like they like this, I don't. In real,
doesn't
In real
matter.
life, first they might this
I
one.
don't care. Fact is, first time should be no time. No time makes it okay. You do not speak to children.
If it's your first time, we got you just in time then. First and last.
Got new trainers for the occasion. Efron, your taxi.
Yeah, that's it.
First time, I see this.
Doesn't matter.
Hello,
First time
lads.
shouldn't have been any time. Leave our kids alone.
Leave the kids alone. Sicko.
It's just to make sure I don't get me.
And obviously she wasn't a virgin or new to sex.
So you don't see it as rape?
I don't.
And she's 13. She's 13 years old.
Well, yes, obviously that's some responsibility lies for it. But as far as grooming is concerned, I think that the judge has gone over the board, the jury has gone over the board, the police has gone over the board, just because these lads were Asian.
The girl get raped on the canal, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well,
Was that recent?
yeah, the one that was slashed and kicked in the canal, and he got done for it, a Somali, and he lives by 2-gate school in a house share, HMO.
HMO.
Do you know, they've released him, he's on tag and he's back there now. He was eyeing my daughter and her friend up. She's a mental health nurse, my daughter, and she did say.
Yeah.
But he's out.
Yeah.
He was attempted murder. She's having all her treatment, plastic surgery.
So what, he slit her face and raped her?
Why didn't he rape her by the co-op?
Yeah.
Just up from Kettlebrook on the canal. So he raped her. She was going to work. She's only 20-something. Raped her, slashed her face and kicked her in the canal.
Sexually grooming, wanted to have a foursome with 3 14-year-old girls sent indecent images. His wife, threatening a 14-year-old girl. I could do what I want. Asking a child for naked images, a 14-year-old girl, said he wants to have sex. Do us a favour, can you hold that for us, on him? I'll read my bullet points out, let's everyone in. Sent a pornographic video. Right. Told him, oh, you're young and nice, I can make you horny and wet. Asked if he could have a foursome with her and her other 14-year-old friend. Wants unprotected sex. Said he wants a white baby's manner. His wife was calling her a bitch, slut, pig. Asked to put his penis in his mouth. Told her he wanted to slap her wet pussy. Yeah, said no police or hunters.
It's not right. It's
not right.
Got you.
It's not right.
Basically, guys, I'll read it all later. This guy is off the scale. Wants to suck their breast while smacking the wet pussy. Said he was scared he might get done for rape. Said his wife was mental, but she was constantly, all the time, she was constantly intimidating the child, saying, do you want to suck my husband's finger? This is Ansar Ahmed, 28, from Birmingham.
The situation in the British Isles is especially anxiety-inducing because mass, forcible sexual conquest of British women is a threat to the continuation of the society itself, and in this case, the British government is not simply tolerating it, but apparently facilitating it. In racial or ethnic terms, this will lead to a permanent alteration of the character of the subject society or its extinction. As an example, the Mesoamerican world was obliterated and reconstituted into something almost unrecognizable in civilizational terms. No real Aztec religion, social structures, or political organizations remain or are prominent. I figure this sort of situation also has a highly dysgenic impact on the remaining stock of the subject country, as long-term planners who raise children intensively are strongly disincentivized from producing families under these chaotic conditions, and ironically, the tax burden usually falls disproportionately on the middle class in Western nations. So people aren't exaggerating when they link this issue to the future of Britain itself, speaking in existential terms. Therein lies the significance and the urgency of Knife Girl. And for all their believe women rhetoric, you can really see how the left puts on its blinders whenever something pokes through their reality. Something, events happen in a way that's inconvenient for them. They're very selective. They just immediately shut it off.
Almost every female friend I have has been the recipient of sexual assault or violence or rape or whatever at some point in their lives. Seriously, it's such a common thing. I think 1 in 4 is probably understating it significantly. I wouldn't be surprised if the rate for sexual assault on women over one's lifetime was as high as 1 in 3 or 1 in 2. We just don't know because nobody fucking reports, because reports aren't taken seriously. That's what Me Too is about.
You're like, I don't think things are on the same level, but things impact you in like bizarre ways. But yeah, like because the perpetrator wasn't white, and because he was like, I'm, part of like a certain religion.
Wait, are we being real?
And the police were basically just like, we can't because of cultural differences, which I don't feel like is such a good.
What? Bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? Did she turn her fucking rape confession onto how the rape fugees fucking Ahmed Muhammad raped her and the police were like, oh, we can't persecute brown people? Bullshit! Bullshit! In fucking Australia? Bullshit, dude.
Yeah, that hurts, doesn't it, boy? Yeah, show this to if you're right-wing and watching this, show this to a liberal, show this to a leftist, Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts these liberals. It hurts these pinko commies. They don't want to face this reality. They don't want to face hard truth. But there you go. You see the hypocrisy and the blinders of the left. Believe all women until it's inconvenient for the narrative. Until it's inconvenient for the globalist, institutionalized, MSM, hugbox narrative. But this selective blindness on the part of leftists relates back to anarcho-tyranny because it is what the political and financial elite in the West generally, but particularly in the UK, want the people to feel. This is how they want you to think. They want people to be ignorant blind stooges, but the lived experience of community erosion, of your dollar, or in this case, your pound, not going as far, the economic privation, the assaults, the discrimination masked as a leg up, as DEI for minority groups. People are waking up to that.
The same problem with all the jobs in East London. No English. Like I'm going to a job. Like, that's why I was travelling to Twickenham. There's a good gang of English blokes. On that job there, on the scaffold, one English bloke. It's a joke. As well, with that one, what did they say? What was the hours? 8 till 4:30, 1 40-minute break it was. Or you can do an extra hour. But, fuck that, bro. Are you joking? What, like 5 hours to your break? That's a joke, mate. Fuck that. As soon as he said that, I was like, fuck this.
Ultimately, the source of this conflict is a material and economic one. British elites are incentivized to behave this way because they have a material interest in globalization, which now, due to the composition of modern British society and really modern Western societies generally, takes precedent over the national interests of their own people. This is often overlooked in discussions of anarcho-tyranny, but anarcho-tyranny is ultimately caused by elites' relationship to the means of production. So let's briefly apply this concept of anarcho-tyranny to the modern British context, and then eventually we'll get to relating it back to Knife Girl. So firstly, there is this centralized bureaucracy, which creates contradictions that deviate from traditional classical liberal governance. That means promises of meritocracy and individual political freedom collide with the reality of governmental inefficiency, elite entrenchment, lack of social mobility, declining social mobility, really, and social fragmentation. So there are these promises. There is this, I guess you could call it almost a social contract between what Western people traditionally understood their governments to do and what is actually going on. And the political elites, the financial elites in business need to kind of spackle over this to cover it up. The fact that the reality that we experience now is not what we were promised, is not how we understood our governments should function. Because you have these bureaucrats, NGO leaders, academics, corporate executives controlling economic resources and the means of production in a detached way, unlike traditional capitalists of the bourgeois era. They have more of an incentive to import cheap labor and suppress dissent and ignore public safety to increase their own profits. They manage the means of production rather than owning them outright, and their stake is in global production chains rather than national interests. And as a result, they become willing to tolerate this migrant related crime on the part of these new arrivals in order to preserve this inflow, this influx of cheap labor or voters, whatever the case may be, and then crack down on so-called hate speech by the working class in order to prevent any kind of backlash. So, they make money by outsourcing these jobs and then importing cheap labor, and then the people, the rabble, the riffraff they're importing to do this cheap labor has obviously these communities that they're inviting into their country have certain social problems, and then when people begin pointing that out, they clamp down on dissent. They clamp down on the people who are pointing out, hey, maybe we shouldn't be inviting all these people into the country. And they're like, well, you know what? This is Britain and we don't have free speech, so you need to shut up and we will cart you away.
A safer space event where women and girls who might feel sort of vulnerable in carnival, unfortunately there are incidents of sexual assaults, can go and be supported in those areas. And again, just working with the partners to make sure that we can deliver a safe, secure carnival. We're working a lot with other agencies as well, so emergency services supported by the City of London Police and also British Transport Police.
This is like a chronic problem that women in Britain don't feel safe anymore. And the way that their elite, political and financial, get around it is through diffused responsibility. Right now, senior officials in governmental institutions don't necessarily have to take the rap because the studies that would actually confirm that certain new arrival communities are perpetrating certain types of offenses more frequently than native Brits, those studies aren't released until years after the fact, like with Rotherham. For a while, for those of you who remember, you could get banned on YouTube. You might still get banned, but you could get banned on YouTube for even making a video like the one I'm making right now highlighting these problems. It was a non-starter. You could not talk about this. This is like a chronic problem that women in Britain don't feel safe anymore. And the way that their elite, political and financial, get around it is through diffused responsibility. Right now, senior officials in governmental institutions don't necessarily have to take the rap because the studies that would actually confirm that certain new arrival communities are perpetrating certain types of offenses more frequently than native Brits, those studies aren't released until years after the fact, like with Rotherham. For a while, for those of you who remember, you could get banned on YouTube. You might still get banned, but you could get banned on YouTube for even making a video like the one I'm making right now highlighting these problems. It was a non-starter. You could not talk about this. And what the British political and financial elite must do to maintain their control is to deprive the British people of any means of self-defense, whether that be verbal or I guess psychological in terms of free speech and discussing the issue, or physical in the case of Knife Girl, with Knife Girl brandishing these weapons, a 14-year-old girl getting arrested, but then you have migrant-related criminals getting off pretty much scot-free. The UK has this very backwards, inverted, perverse administration of justice, which is a hallmark of anarcho-tyranny, and it is encapsulated perfectly in that picture right there of Knife Girl. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you thought it was informative. Please give it a like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a hate comment if you're a liberal and you didn't like it. Sub to me on Patreon if you want to support this channel monetarily. And Red Channels will, of course, catch you in the next one.